Hey lovelies, welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about Ken's interview about Trish with Carlosking and Dr. Heavenly. Ken had a lot to say about Trisha. He was talking about how sneaky she is, that she lacks accountability. Let's break it down. I have so much to say. Before we get into it though, I want you to think, is Trisha the new Martel? If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And everyone, please like, share, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now let's get into today's video. Do you guys remember I covered this on the channel that Ken and Trisha were meant to do an interview with carlosking and Dr. Heavenly? So Trisha showed up, but Ken did not. And if you guys remember, Trisha came up with some dumb excuse about how Ken was kind of scared of Dr. Heavenly. I'm like, how you finna go there and try to make it seem like your man ain't got it like that? Your man is a weakling and can't stand and have a conversation with a woman. Like, that is so odd. But anyways, it turns out that Trisha was probably just being her sneaky self because Ken exposed it all. Ken basically said that he was meant to do the interview, but then he had a big argument with Trisha before the interview went down. Apparently, Ken left for a few days, went out of state, and stayed in a hotel. That sounds serious. That does not sound like what Trisha was portraying when she came on the show. Now, just to clarify, he did go back after a few days, but he said some things that made me think there must be trouble brewing in their relationship, because some of the things he was saying gave me cause for concern. So, for example, he said something that made me feel he felt that Tisha lacks accountability. And I thought, wow, should you really be with someone who you think lacks accountability? He did also say some things. He said communication with Trisha is really hard. And I thought, wow. First of all, I liked his honesty, his candidness, but at the same time, I was thinking, wow, communication with Trisha is really hard. We've seen her on the show, and every time she's communicating, it's like she can't open her mouth to explain what is going on. Just come out and say it. What do you mean? What is being said? It's almost like she goes and it goes all around. It's like a roundabout way of saying things that are very basic and very clear. There is no need for the theatrics. So I can only imagine how communicating with Trisha is really hard. Let's also not forget that Trisha comes across very sneaky, does not give all of the information, and lies. She does come across as a liar. There was something that I caught that I was like, I don't know if you guys caught it, if you guys watched that interview. Carlos said that there was some argument that happened last week when they were filming, and that caused issues, right? Carlos was trying to understand whether that had something to do with this whole beef issue with Martel. So he then says, no, it has nothing to do with Martel. It's more about the way Trisha communicates, and that he was trying to communicate to her that there is an opportunity for her to get ahead of certain situations, but she does not see it that way. And I thought, that is interesting. What exactly is she supposed to be getting ahead of? I suspect this is in relation to some sort of situation that has happened with Martell Holt. If you guys remember, initially she tried to make it seem that her and Martel were just like family friends kind of thing, not knowing that Martel was introduced to her by allegedly Chris Fletcher. And he went over to Martel's house when Martel was married to Melody. I think that's absolutely bizarre and crazy. And if she knew she was coming on the show, she should have come correct by putting it completely out there. You cannot wait for someone like Martel to expose you before you expose yourself. Martel now, it seems like he has something that he has over your head. Now, if there is any proof that you allegedly slept with Martel, best believe that he gonna bring it. Because now, because you seem sneaky, even if Trisha may not be lying, it looks like she's lying because she's been moving so sneakily since day one. It's hard to get a straight answer out of her. And the thing about it sometimes is when you meet people that you can't get a straight answer out of, most times it's because they are lying. It's because they have something to hide. If you have nothing to hide, you should be able to give a direct, straight answer. There's no reason to be going and beating around the bush. Like, there's no need for all of that. He did also say that sometimes with Trisha, questions are accusations to her. And this stems from trauma from her past relationships. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. People have past relationships that result in different traumas. And I'm not in any way trying to minimize her trauma. But at the same time, even if you perceive questions to be accusations, that does not mean that you shouldn't at least try your best to be as honest as possible. The problem is not necessarily about these questions being accusations. The problem is the way you are responding by barely saying anything or by being very sneaky in the way you respond to stuff and being inconsistent. 1 minute you've never been to Martel's house. Next minute you're admitting to having been to Martel's house. That is a lie. Now your credibility is shattered. No one is ever going to believe anything you have to say. And so now moving forward, everyone is looking at you like we can't trust you. And they would be right. Is Trisha the new Martel? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now, he did say that people are in his DMs, like even some housewives. I'm like, what housewife is in his DM? Is that Sheree? Sheree? Is that you? It even gets worse because now Ken isn't on Facebook going back and forth with a bunch of people. He was talking about how he's not going to lie. All the TV stuff is making him realize how miserable people are in 2024. People got to do better. You're too old for this ish. I'm like, you seem pressed because let's not forget, in the interview he had with Heavenly and Carlos, he was talking about he don't be reading comments. So what are you reading that is making you feel people are miserable? I was seeing like some back and forth he was having with some people. And I was like, what is the need for all of this, sir? Like, why are you going back and forth on Facebook with random fans? At the end of the day, you're the one dating somebody who is married. You're the one dating someone who is trying to embarrass you by not being forthcoming and honest about her relationship with Martel. And instead, she basically sends you to check this man, only for this man to let the world know that she has been in his house before your babe told you. How crazy is that? How do you let your man go out and check a man and not give him the heads up like, yo, babes, this is what happened. Me and him, whatever. This was before him. If you're going to put him and if he's going to be in the face of a man that you have dealt with in some way, the least you can do is give that man a heads up. Let him know. Don't let him walk into an ambush. That is absolutely not fair. It's not something that you should do as someone who so-called loves their man. You give him some heads up. And also you don't even send him over there. Why are you sending him over to be out here looking at this man and saying to this man, yo, nah, come off it. Did you think that Martel was going to hide and keep it a secret that you went to his house? Do you think that you would have been able to get away with it? I personally believe that Trisha is the female version of Martel. The way she is moving is giving me she is Martel 2.0. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.